I'm Arlecier West, and welcome to King County at your service. We're here today at PowellsWood Botanical Garden in Federal Way. It's a beautiful 3-acre plant paradise right in the middle of the urban world. Check it out. Here's a crazy thing to consider. What if you saw a runaway barge heading straight for the Seattle waterfront? What would you do? Well, this retiring water taxi captain did something heroic, and he saved the day.
I mean, you have beautiful days. I get to tease other King County employees that my office is bigger and my view changes constantly.
Welcome aboard the King County Water Taxi.
I started my maritime career in Alaska. I went to work at the fuel dock that my parents owned in Juneau and was around boats there and thought, hey, this is fun. I wonder if you can make a living at it. And it took a while, but yeah, you can finally make a living at it. I've been here almost 16 years now. I was the original captain hired for the operation and started the King County Water Taxi operation. It's been really great watching the whole organization grow, from starting new boats to getting new facilities, watching the passenger ridership over the years and seeing how much it's helped the communities get around easier in the Puget Sound area. There is kind of a misunderstanding about a captain's role. It's basically personnel and project management, like any other job, until it's not. That's when you become a true captain and have to act as a leader.
In Puget Sound, a water taxi captain stopped a runaway barge from crashing into Seattle's waterfront.
I had occasion to notice a barge that had made, as one company described it, an unescorted departure from the dock. And it was headed for the Seattle waterfront, and I was in the right place at the right time and was able to divert it away from the important part of the downtown waterfront.
Within moments, Captain Crable and his crew sprung to action.
People say it was a split-second decision. It's about 4 or 5 seconds of asking myself, can I do this safely? Will I not hurt the passengers?
The water taxi was not damaged. No injuries were reported.
Having been raised in Alaska and started my career in Alaska, things happen up there. And when they do, you deal with it with the tools you have and then go back to work. And that was one of those situations.
The crew saved the day!
Still not a big fan of public speaking. The most public speaking I do is, thanks for riding, everybody. Please watch your step and have a nice day.
Thanks for riding with everyone. Please watch your step. Have a great afternoon.
The plan now is to move to Central Illinois to be 2 to 4 hours from my daughter. Just the right distance not to be in her back pocket. We'll probably have some kind of small boat. I'll be in a place where it'll be lakes. I'm going to be away from the salt water, but yeah, I can't get away from the water entirely.
She's been called a pint-sized Picasso. Meet a 12-year-old art prodigy from Sammamish, commissioned to create a giant peace monument in the Middle East.
So when I paint, I kind of don't think about anything else, and I kind of lose track of time, so I can paint for like a really long time without having to need anything. I'm Zoya Eshwar. I'm 12 years old, and I go to Pine Lake Middle School. My mom has been painting since I was like a few months old, and I kind of got into art by just watching her paint. I did my first painting when I was 2.5 years old.
I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I've worked with a lot of prodigies, and most of them have been wonderful. But I can tell you I've never seen talent on this level that we're seeing here with this 12-year-old artist named Zoya Eshwar.
Like how I can express myself through my art.
I founded an organization 25 years ago called the Global Peace Initiative. And the idea was only to have young children create the monuments because kids suffer the most in times of war. The first monument was for Asia. The second monument, a lot of people have heard about it. It's the John Lennon Monument. And then from there it went on, the Ukrainian monument and what have you. I guess you could call it an industry to create monuments by kids to be placed in war-torn zones like the Middle East.
My design for the monument, really, I just wanted it to have something that really represents peace. In the painting, it shows like a dove extending an olive branch, which is a representation of peace, and like a hand accepting it, where it turns into a paintbrush and palette at the end. I added that because I really believe that art has the power to heal, and bring people together. And on the hand, there's like a wristband that says Shalom and Salam, which means peace in different languages, and an infinity sign showing forever peace. And in the back, there's like a heart showing that love is a language that everyone should speak. And this monument, I'm planning to make it out of missile casing from the war.
Grown-ups have a hard time sort of selling the idea of peace. Kids, on the other hand, how do you ignore a message from peace by kids, especially if it's in the form of a giant monument that's hard to miss?
When kids show up broken, you've got to meet the need. That's from Reverend Terrence Proctor, who's being honored by the council for his public service. As Proctor likes to say, service is just the rent you pay for being on the planet.
I'm so Seattle. I was born here, raised here at Franklin High School, University of Washington, and I love my community, I love my city, I love this region. Seattle means a lot to me, has been there for me, and so I try to serve out of that. Coming out of college, I was going to be an international lawyer, man. This was Reagan era. I was trying to get a bunch of money. I was a BUPPY, a black urban upperly mobile professional. That was the goal for everybody. But, you know, I got a gift for kids, so I started teaching right after college, and it kind of sprang out of that. Just the kids show up broken, and you try to meet that need. And then that morphed into coaching, and that morphed into kids show up broken. Well, the brokenness transcends your classroom, so then you start serving families. You can't serve kids without serving families. Then there's the whole structure within the community that affects the health of the family. I think it was King who said, service is the rent you pay for being on the planet. Well, shoot, I've coached everything from track, and I don't know anything about track, middle school girls basketball, boys basketball, football, and many of my students are teachers and caseworkers and counselors now. So I'm more proud about that than the banners we hung. We have a mantra, we can't do alone, we can do together. We all can be present. So find out where the gaps are in your community, show up in the gap. And I don't have to fix it all. Some of the healing element is being present for it all.
Besides bringing services to South King County, El Centro de la Raza is building community through a skating rink. El Centro's director, Estela Ortega, is being recognized for her decades of service.
I'm proud of our multiracial unity. El Centro is an incredible example that we took this old building and turned it into what Roberto would say, there's going to be an explosion of creativity in developing programs. And that has been the strength of the organization over these 50-something years, is our strong commitment to multiracial unity. There's offices and early childhood development, the beautiful open space, the plaza. As people start leaving the city of Seattle because it's just too expensive to live in the city. So we saw more and more people that were moving out in the South End, but they were still coming in for the services. 56% of the Latinos that live in King County now live in South County. And so we just felt it was time to have a physical presence, in South County. And here's this building, this small little building here that's providing services. We lease a building right across from here. We have home visiting programs here, some of our youth programs out here, our GED program. We have programs within the Federal Way school districts, and we purchased 2.5 acres of land right across the street from here, and it has a skate rink on it. The Federal Way community feels like we are so beloved because we didn't have any plans to tear the skate rink down, but to continue it. Again, just those values and trying to build community and build life, a better life for people, is what has grounded us.
What does it take to build a bridge to communities? Bellevue employee Beverly is forging strong partnerships between the police department and the local Chinese community through cultural enrichment.
We have an amazing lineup of community outreach programs like summer youth camps, Halloween on the Hills, Shop with a Cop. My name is Beverly Ni. I'm the fiscal manager for the Bellevue Police Department. But there's another part of my job, which is the fun part that I really love doing, and to serve as an ambassador to the local Chinese community.
She's our fiscal manager, right? But the work she's done for the police department and the community beyond that is amazing.
Everybody wants to work with Bev. She's good for the department, and she actually makes all of us better across the whole city.
I was born and raised in China. My parents and I moved to the United States 30 years ago. I can speak Mandarin fluently, read and write.
She has bridged that gap with the Chinese community and the Bellevue Police Department. We attend school events, Lunar New Year.
The thinking was to bring a very authentic, traditional Chinese style kind of festival called Miaohui to celebrate the year of the snake. It took a whole village of volunteers to make it happen. The event was a huge success.
To learn other cultures, we build relationships, not when things are happening, not when there's a problem, right? But when people are celebrating.
It's a conversation. It's a two-way conversation. Coming here new, I did not have any friends locally, but I felt very welcomed actually. And so that's the kind of help that I also want to give back to the community. Working in partnership with the communities and embracing diversity, I'm really glad I'm part of that effort.
Do you love animals? Wondering what it might be like to work at Regional Animal Services? Well, here's a story for you.
So, what is it like working at RASC?
RASC stands for Regional Animal Services of King County. They help thousands of animals every year, rescuing them, caring for them, and finding them new homes. We tracked down an actual RASC employee to explain what they do. We have Mo.
Hi, I'm Mo. As an animal care technician, we fulfill multiple roles here at RASC. We deal with animal care for our first portion of the day, where we're feeding, medicating, walking, assessing animals. For wet food, you can kind of just do like a third to half of this can. We're giving them a full serving of dry food, so this is supplementary.
For me personally, I wouldn't eat it, but you know, it does look good for a cat though.
So then once I got all their food set up, I'll start going around cat by cat and just kind of taking care of them. I know. From there, we deal with anything that the public throws at us.
What is the process RASC goes through before an animal is up for adoption?
So we do our general 3-day stray wait for any animal that doesn't come in with any form of ID. We give them what's called a behavioral assessment, and we'll give them a pre-op visit. They get 24 hours of recovery. After those 24 hours are up, they are put on the website, usually that night, and then up for adoption the following morning.
What was the messiest incident you've encountered with an animal?
Dogs that have anxiety are very common to do what's called poop stomping, which is exactly what it sounds like. And I will never forget to this day having to clean those kennels at least twice a day for a month. I have been inspired since I was pretty young. I've always loved animals growing up. From there, my passion just kind of grew. I started volunteering here and I realized there was a need. I'm a type of person where I see a need, I like to fill the need.
So yeah, RASC does a lot. They help animals, they help people, and they help the community.
If you're interested in learning more about RASC, you can find us at kingcounty.gov/pets.
Thanks for joining us at King County at your service. Check us out online at kingcounty.gov/KCTV. I'm Arlecier West. We'll see you next time.